Right. Can you hear me? If everything is okay, just type something or say something in the chat. Because unfortunately I cannot check it to see whether everything is going okay. This is kind of happened in a rush. And yep, it's very unfortunate. And things didn't work out on OpenBSD. I tried actually a couple of options, but unfortunately it didn't work out at all. I'm not sure why. It used to work on my old hardware, like the one that is, I don't know, from 10 years ago, more than 10 years by now. And then it stops kind of working with the new device, and I'm not sure why. What's the reason? I was getting error that couldn't get the shared memory stuff, and then it was saying that it cannot get enough of the there's not enough data that's receiving to actually do the live stream. And I tried once, and the result was a failure actually on the it didn't work out, and there was just like a 50 seconds of blank, so I have to actually delete that live stream because it's just like confusing people. And yeah, and then I switched actually to Arch Linux, and it wasn't working, so I'm not sure why also. And I think there was also some network / internet hiccup on my like whatever happened, like internet provider got messed up a bit, so there was also the internet problem. And then I had to use this machine. I mean, switch to a different operating system, but this one actually is running Linux, so it's a new machine. And I hope that the quality, everything is kind of better. Let's see. I'm not sure. I have to check with something else to see what's going on exactly and whether things are freezing or no. Something that I have no idea. And it seems that it is freezing also. Because if I click here, it is not coming up properly, or if it's coming up, I see with the delay. Okay, so everything is good. Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear that everything is good. I think there are some delays based on what I see actually on my phone. I think there are some delays, but hopefully that's not a big deal. And yeah, so for those who just arrived, I think the quality of the stream is a bit like funky. Why is it streaming 480? Let me see whether you can stream with the higher quality or not. Okay, 1080. Okay, so it looks everything's fine. Yeah, so sorry guys, I initially had a plan to do this live stream on OpenBSD on the new machine that I have purchased recently. I mean, it's not new, it's a second hand, but it's new for me, right? And then I planned this one. I was even like a plan on like doing some demo sessions and stuff like that. But what happened was that in the last moment I couldn't do the live stream, and it was FFmpeg was giving me this cannot get the shared memory error. I tried to actually increase the shared memory in the sysconfig file, but it didn't work out. And I tried to go live once, but the kind of like it just like produced blank. Then I switched to my another OpenBSD machine on my 10 years old laptop, T430 ThinkPad, and I tried to do live stream there because I did it actually. The first live stream of the channel is done on that laptop, T430. It wasn't the best experience, but it's proven was working. But that one also didn't work out, unfortunately. And then on my 10 years old hardware, I tried to switch to Arch Linux because it's dual booted Arch Linux and OpenBSD, and that one also didn't work out. And then I thought that there is a problem with the internet, and actually I had two problems running at the same time. One problem was that somewhat OpenBSD wasn't working, the live streaming on it obviously, and the second problem was that the internet was too slow. So I tried to connect to my phone internet and then tried on the OpenBSD, but then this time I used to get the same error, like they cannot get the shared memory error, same as usual. And also when I tried to go live, it just like produced blank. So I'm not sure what the hell is going on with the OpenBSD live streaming setup. I have to go read the massive script again and see how can I resolve it. Let me see whether I can. Maybe I can show you even the script. The script is pretty crazy. Let me go to here. Oh god, probably I haven't. And this machine on the Linux side is not fully set up, unfortunately. So what I did, I had to just quickly install OBS and then add the keys for the live streaming and all those things to make it work. So yeah, I managed to go live, but now I'm using Linux Mint, as you can see. And probably many people they are going to unsubscribe. I mean, the Arch Linux is a cool thing, right? But the Linux Mint, man, amateur hours, right? So, but nonetheless, yeah, I'm using Linux Mint on this machine, dual booted with the OpenBSD 7.2. But the live streaming didn't work out, so here we are. And I have to later on spend some hours probably on see what to do with this OpenBSD script that I have here. Let me check whether there is any. Okay, there's nothing crucial here that I cannot show you. Okay, so this is the OpenBSD script that I have. And so basically, yeah, this is getting the URL, the key is coming from a file, so not a problem. And then it's setting the audio device as SNDIO. So I set two SNDIO devices. One is the SND, this is the monitor, this is the fake basically sound card, so that I can actually loop. I'm not sure what's the exact terminology here, I might be wrong, but I can actually play back the desktop or whatever. Or let's say if I'm playing a song on my computer, then you will hear it too. So this is for that one, and then this one is for the external microphone. I am using an external microphone. And these are the filter complex. I think I have a stolen part of this script from Zany, because he used to actually do the live stream on OpenBSD and he put his script on GitLab. So these are from, I think part of it is from his script, but also I fine-tune it to work for the best, let's say, speed optimization for my old hardware, third generation Core i5. And then this part is about the basically the screencasting part. And okay, what else? Then this is the encoding of the audio encoding, and that's all. I am not entirely sure what's wrong with it, and I cannot actually test this script unfortunately on Linux now. I have to actually switch back to OpenBSD later on to test it on OpenBSD and see whether it's working or no. And I mean, it's not working obviously. That was a silly statement by me to have to troubleshoot it, and the way I troubleshoot it, you may be interested in it. The way that I troubleshoot it is also silly as well. Meaning that I have to create a private live stream, play around with these parameters for hours, or for hours. I think last time I think it took easily like 2-3 hours to fine tune it, and it worked out only for one live stream. Yeah. And yeah, I have to actually just fine tune it, go live, of course privately, otherwise people get crazy. Then evaluate the situation, see whether I can get a smooth stream or no. Stop it, fine tune it again, do it, keep just doing it until it reaches to an acceptable, let's say, quality. I mean, not that my contents are quality anyway. And yeah, and also I have a screencasting script, and this one is basically all the last script that I also showed you is using the software rendering, not the hardware one, and the hardware rendering is not available anyway, or the hardware encoding more precisely, on OpenBSD. And yeah, this is also the one for the screencasting. For screencasting, so far has worked perfectly, and probably that's a mistake I made. I tested using a screencast and it was working fine. Then I said, you know what, the live stream is going to work out, because I already fine-tuned the script and it worked on my T430 laptop as 11 years old hardware. I did one live stream with that. Let me also show you which live stream I did with that T430 on OpenBSD. Let me find it. Yeah, so this live stream, I have done it on the old hardware. Of course, the quality wasn't the best, and I think there were like a couple of, like hiccups. And I think one of the problem was that the audio was choppy. People said that, but this one was on the T430 using OpenBSD and it worked. So I thought that, this is now a new laptop, so it's going to work out. So as I have promised, I am going to show you which laptop I purchased. So in the last two streams, I was kind of stuck between whether I'm going to buy a T430 or whether I'm going to buy a T14 third generation. T480 is from 2018, so it's 4 years old, and there is no new hardware of T430. So my idea was to buy maybe a refurbished one and then basically upgrade it a bit, or spend around 2K and buy a T14 third generation AMD. So I ended up buying a T430 because the T14 has a the Wi-Fi is not working on OpenBSD, and there is a dispute that whether that is replaceable Wi-Fi card or is not, because now everything is kind of attached to the board, is soldered on, and then I read somewhere they mentioned that only the Intel one is soldered, the Wi-Fi, and AMD is replaceable, but I couldn't get a final answer. I checked the board and all those things. I checked the manual and also the Wikipedia page. It's stated that it's supposed to be changed, but I didn't want to risk and then spend 2K on it and then kind of regret that. So I bought T480. So it's the Core i5 8350U. Compared to my old laptop, it has twice or three times the horsepower. And yeah, the screen is Full HD 1080. And also I have upgraded two things. I've upgraded the NVMe hard drive, or the storage, NVMe storage, and also I have upgraded the RAM. So it came with the 250 gigabytes storage, and I replaced that one with 1 terabyte NVMe, and also it came with 8 gigabyte of RAM, and I added another 16 gigabyte module to it. So now it's running with 24 gigabyte of RAM. It's a bit of the odd setup, and many people maybe they disagree with me that this is not the optimal configuration. I totally agree. And it has 2 RAM slots, and I can actually upgrade. I can go as far as 64 gigabyte of RAM, 32 gigabyte in each slot. And also there is a WLAN let's say a slot that you can put the WLAN card, or if you don't want, you can put also the storage. But I found those storage, I think the form factor is kind of rare and expensive. I think it's called M2 form factor. Let me quickly search. Let me actually open up Chromium, because this is my private. Okay, so this one is kind of clean. I never used it, so let's go here. So my history stuff won't show up. So I think it's called M2 form factor storage. No, it's not the M2. Then what was it? Is it M4 or what? Okay, let's see. Full screen. Where is the name here? Yeah, is M2 2240. Yeah, so I can also add this M2 2240 as well in the WLAN slot. But this form factor is rare, and I think it's kind of expensive compared to the normal form factor that you find that in the normal form factor is 2280. So anyway, yeah, I have upgraded the RAM, I have upgraded the storage. I have also done a couple of tests. So far so good, running Linux Mint pretty smoothly. But on the OpenBSD also, but when I wanted to install OpenBSD, I had some problems, because for the Wi-Fi card I needed to have a firmware, and there is a guideline for OpenBSD adding the firmware to the image, but it didn't work out somewhat. Let me see, image add firmware. Why it's going to Yahoo? Holy crap, who uses Yahoo? I wouldn't have been offended if it was going to DuckDuckGo or something, not Yahoo, come on. OpenBSD installation firmware, not firmware update. Bootstrapping wireless firmware. So there is a guideline. It mentioned that, okay, for licensing reasons, some firmware cannot be directly distributed with OpenBSD. And so when you run the FW update, it will download and install the missing firmware. But when you want to install OpenBSD from a USB stick or whatever, then it kind of requires internet. So the idea is to download the firmware and then mount the image, then basically create this whatever it is, and then mount the image here, do the firmware update, and then you also of course have to know your Wi-Fi adapter, and then basically this image would be modified, and then burn that image or kind of write that image to your USB stick. And once you boot it, it's supposed that once you boot it, it should have that firmware. So as a result of it, then you need to have you will have a working Wi-Fi card during the OpenBSD installation. So we have a question. Sorry, was away for a moment. Did you reveal the laptop? Yes, I revealed it, but just quickly. So in the 2 live stream ago, I was indecisive whether I wanted to buy second-hand refurbished T480 or a new T14 third generation. Former cost 300 something euros, latter cost around 2k, and I ended up buying a second-hand T480. It wasn't because of the money problem, it was mainly because the Wi-Fi is not supported on OpenBSD, and there was a dispute whether this Wi-Fi card is replaceable, meaning that if I open the laptop, can I replace it or no? Some people said it's soldered, some people said it's not, and I didn't want it to risk, so I bought the T480. I have upgraded it, added 16 gigabyte of RAM, so now it in total is 24, and the max can go 64. And also I replaced the storage with 1 terabyte NVMe. So that's a short. However, I failed to do the live stream on OpenBSD. I have to investigate it afterwards or in the upcoming days. Hopefully, the next round will be definitely the on OpenBSD. And this is running Linux Mint on the new laptop. The new laptop for me is the second hand. So, and this is the new fetch for a specification in case you want to see it. And back to the topic. So as I was saying, when I wanted to install OpenBSD on this T480, the Wi-Fi is Intel, I think. Let me see. This is Intel, to what I remember. Yeah, so this is Intel. So this is the same firmware that I had to install. So I have an Intel Wi-Fi. It supports on OpenBSD, but you need to install the firmware. And during the installation, so the installation medium is not shipped with the firmware because of the legal reasons. So this is mentioned. And I followed this instruction. I managed to copy the file to the image, and then I have written that image to a USB stick. Boot it up, nothing has changed. It's the same as before, meaning that I couldn't, meaning that the Wi-Fi card didn't detect it. So it was painful. So what I did was because I wanted to just install just get away with the installation, finish the installation, and then basically install the firmware, whatever. Because during the installation, it's supposed to be able also to install from the installed packages from USB stick, but it didn't work out. I don't know why. I am damn sure that I didn't download the mini version. I downloaded the full version, but it didn't work out somehow. And so what I did was to create a FAT32 partition on my hard drive, copy the installation files there, and then install from that drive. And the important thing is that NTFS doesn't work, ext2, ext3 doesn't work, none of this stuff works. Only I haven't tried with the OpenBSD partition type, but I said, you know what, I'm going to use just only the FAT32. So what I did, I created a FAT32. Let me see whether that partition has any content. If it doesn't, then I show you what I did. Okay, so I'm going to delete this one. Thank you, sir. So so I created this partition, is a FAT32 partition, and then I copied all the OpenBSD packages here, and then installed the OpenBSD packages from here. And once I have done with the installation, to install the Wi-Fi firmware, I copied all the firmwares, and then basically I did the offline firmware installation. I put the video about the offline firmware installation. There is a verification part that I have done it wrong. I've shown it in the video wrongly, but everything else is working fine. And in case that you want to verify the firmware signature, whatever, see the first comment. And yeah, that I've done. I put the correct instruction there, but that's just only for the verification, as I said. So I installed the firmware from here, and it was a very interesting journey, I would say, because in all the hardware that I installed OpenBSD T430, I have a very a small netbook, Asus netbook, that I created a couple of videos with that as well. I mean, about that, not with that, about that. And yeah, and in none of them I had such an issue except this one. And this is, I would say, a perk of having a newer hardware. So OpenBSD may not detect everything automatically, and you need to jump through some hoops to get things working. But nonetheless, I'm happy that OpenBSD is working on the one hand. On the other hand, I am sad that I couldn't do the live stream. And I think I pissed people off because I did the schedule about it, and then it didn't happen. It failed, and I saw last time, like, I don't know how many people were waiting, and I'm so sorry about it. If any of you have been waiting for that live stream, I'm sorry about it. I apologize about it. It busted. It didn't happen. It didn't work basically on OpenBSD, and I am ashamed, kind of. And this channel is about OpenBSD, but the live stream is from a Linux Mint machine. But it will be fixed next time. I mean, there is a reason that I bought that hardware, right? If I didn't want to do a live stream from OpenBSD, I would have 100% stick with my ThinkPad T480 is my, I don't know, it's my companion laptop that I have been carrying on that one over 10 years now, and it has been with me to multiple continents, not country, multiple continents. So, and yeah, I wouldn't say good memories, but I have a lot of memories with it. And if it dies, I will be sad. That's the only laptop that I will keep it until it dies. It's also a kind of like a Frankenstein machine. It has, I took out the optical drive from that T430, put a spinning 500 gigabyte drive. I upgraded the RAM. It came, I think, with 4 gigabyte of RAM. I put another 8. And also I also took the spinning hard drive, put it in the, I bought the caddy to get rid of the CD-ROM. So I use it as a second hard drive. And then for the main hard drive, I put the 250 SSD, and this one I think is back to 2017 or 16 or something. I did this, and yeah, it's my lovely laptop T430, but it's getting too old and it's not working, and God knows when the fan will fail. Also, recently I've seen some kind of a screen flickering, both internal and external screen. It has the same issue, and I think the VGA or the graphic is going to die. So let's see how long it will last further. But anyway, I said all this, like rambled about all this thing. Yeah, so what I was saying is that the reason that I bought this new T480 is to be able to do the live stream on OpenBSD. Of course, the first attempt didn't work out. Hopefully second attempt will work out, and of course I have to do it after I check the script again thoroughly multiple times to see what can I optimize, and also optimize the OpenBSD further. And yeah, about this one, I have bought this laptop, like it arrived I think 2 weeks ago, and I upgraded, installed everything, like I think in the first few days, but I have been extremely busy in my life. Didn't have enough time even to fine-tune OpenBSD. I just used the existing configuration I had, copied those from my T430, put it here, but I think there are a lot of room for improvement. So that's the latest state of the OpenBSD on the T480, and it is also running the OpenBSD 7.2. And when I'm saying I've been so busy, I've been too busy, I would say, that I couldn't even upgrade my T430 OpenBSD from 7.1 to 7.2. I'm such a bad OpenBSD user. Yeah. So yeah, that's the situation. And the next topic that I wanted to discuss, I mean, it's not OpenBSD related, but I think why not? Let's discuss it. I mean, people may like it or not. That's something to find out by looking at whether I'm going to lose a subscriber or no. But yeah. So I've seen 2 things in the chat. Yeah, you can write me an email. So go to in the channel, there is an email, so you can just drop an email. I'm going to paste it in the chat. So in case anybody wants to get in touch with me, just send an email to this. And oh, why are we crying? Yeah, the reason that we are crying is because I failed to stream actually on OpenBSD on this new, let's say on this new laptop that I have acquired, and I had to switch to Linux, and I have kept people for over 30 minutes waiting because I have scheduled the live stream and it didn't work out. And yeah, that's why we are crying. I mean, not we, I have to cry to go to sleep. So yeah, but joke aside, so the another topic that I wanted to talk is that yeah, I found it very funny that that Elon Musk has bought the Twitter, and I think he asks now for $8 to get a blue check mark, and I couldn't stop laughing that people, especially these people with the blue check mark, they were crying under his tweet about this $8 charge, and they were saying, oh, not everybody should be able to get a blue check mark because we have done blah blah, because we are a celebrity. And I'm saying, yeah, sure. And oh god, why they put this one behind a login? Crap. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't like to sign into my dead Twitter account, but I found it like super comical. Let's see whether we can find anything or no. Like the replies under his tweet was like crazy funny. Like, but the good thing is that, like, I think it's good that like he is disturbing this kind of thing. Of course, I mean, I won't pay $8 for this stupid thing or for a if statement, because I have no use of Twitter at all, or at least not for now. But the these like people who have this blue check mark, I in my estimation, they kind of see themselves a bit of superior compared to those who don't, and there is some sort of up to down, or like a top to bottom look at those people who don't have it. And disturbing that actually kind of makes me a bit like not happy. It just makes me it's a funny thing, you know. It's a funny phenomenon, because I think this in general social media is like overly hyped, and there is this like a virtual clout that people is looking to have, and then they're chasing this stupid thing, which is basically like a, I don't know, like it, whatever, a picture and a statement. It's as simple as that. I mean, if you spin up your own Mastodon, right, you can add as many blue check mark as you wish. Nobody cares, right? And like disturbing this sort of order of in a large social media, I found it very comical. And also, I think he's trying just to kind of compensate for the loss of buying a Twitter, because in my opinion, Twitter is not worth that much. is worth its worth is way lesser than what he paid. It's a dead platform. I think if we see the number of Twitter user base, I think it hasn't increased that much. Like it's 396 million. And let's see whether there's a stats for it. So you see it's like kind of stagnating. This is of course the until Q1 2019. I'm not sure is there a newer stats about it, but it's kind of stagnating and is a dead platform in my estimation. So it's not worth that much of money, and a lot of the users are dead, even though that they signed up and they may have used it in the past, but a lot of accounts are dead. At least I don't see none of my friends there active or something, so it's a dead platform. Now we are losing a blue checkmark memes. I'm not aware of any blue checkmark memes, to be honest, so I don't know what you are referring to. But most of the people, at least let's say most of the English speaking blue checkmark people are, in my estimation, they are crazy. Like they are not normal. They are in the political spectrum, they are on both extremes. Either they are like extremely leftist or they are extremely conservative. And this is not something that I want to even get involved with. I think they are just like absolutely crazy. Again, US politics, other parts of the world is different. US politics, blue checkmark people, none of them, I don't approve any of them, especially when it comes to the politics. They are like crazy, absolutely crazy. Like, nah. So devaluing this blue check mark, I think, is a good thing. And like, in my opinion, another maybe a positive step to kind of bringing back a bit of normality to Twitter would be to hide number of followers and following. Just like hide it from the public eyes. Meaning that I can see how many people follow me and how many people I follow in my profile, but this information won't be public. Then we have a kind of even playing field for everybody, and not this person is better than another and vice versa. I think I sound a bit like a communist, but believe me, I'm not a fan of those guys either, at all. But so what I was saying is that, like, then what makes sense would be heard mainly, and you can judge more or less based on the retweets, based on the likes that about that single tweet. Because also there's another phenomenon, and that is that I have seen a lot of people with this blue check mark stuff, but they have zero credibility, meaning that they may have, I don't know, followers of 30, 40k, 100k, couple of 100k's even, but when they tweet something, is the number of interaction with that tweet is too low, meaning that 50 people retweeted, I don't know, 100 people liked the tweet, and if you keep just going down, see the prior tweets, is the same situation. And these people, on what basis they have received a blue check mark? Why these people should be separated from the normal people. I mean, if you go to this, like, I don't know, something like a Twitter God, I think there's a God account or something. If you go there, it's unverified, but it's way, like, I mean, the tweets from that account is way more meaningful, and also it receives a lot of interaction. But then, let's say supposedly a top tier news outlet reporter with the verified accounts and this and that tweets stuff that nobody cares. It's not because people are, let's say, prejudiced or they are discriminating. Is just because of the fact that the quality of reporters and the quality of the news outlets and the people that are working under whatever, that sort of things, it has dropped massively like this. I think none of them make sense anymore either. So I think that's a good thing. And also another factor is that Twitter is not a profitable business. It hasn't been a profitable business at all. So I think maybe this can sort of help to make the Twitter a bit more profitable. But let's see. And so he paid $44 billion for a piece of social media that is basically garbage, in my opinion. And yeah, so I think reporters, they mentioned that having this blue check mark is very important. So I do believe that they can afford $8 or whatever per month, and then they can actually enjoy that one. Yeah, but let's see. And I think one of the plan that Elon Musk also has about Twitter is to get rid of a lot of people working there. I think to laying off 75% of people and kind of make the company agile, I would say. I'm not sure whether it's a good approach or no. Generally speaking, firing people, I'm not a fan of it, but let's see, who knows. So yeah, a lot of things going on also about Twitter, but I think it's not a very important social media, and I would prefer to use something like not even Mastodon. There was I forgot the name, God. This is how unimportant social media are for me. Not Gap, of course. What was it? Diaspora. Let's see. I have forgotten the name. There was another alternative, but it was based on the same protocol, and it was super lightweight. It was based on the activity pop, but it was super lightweight. So let's see. Was it here? I've seen it somewhere. Not purism. microblogging services. Yeah, I cannot find it. Let me check my bookmark. Definitely I have had it somewhere before, but yeah, but anyway, there was another one that it was based on the ActivityPub, using the same protocol, everything, but the front end was way more lightweight. And it mentioned that also you can actually host it on a Raspberry Pi. So fediverse hosting on Raspberry Pi. So maybe I find this. No. Oh god. Pleroma. Yeah, this guy. If I want to use it, I will use this one actually. I'm not sure how many instances it has, but it's super lightweight. It's a bit like old school looking, but super lightweight, and it's easy to even like host it on your own. And yeah, and I think they can communicate with Mastodon and this pixel-fed whatever tube. What was the name of another one? My memory is messed up. With the peer tube, yeah, with peer tube as well. So I would prefer use a distributed distributed social or federated social network more precisely. And there is no problem of whether you are verified, you are not verified, blah blah blah. And above all, the source code is available to the public. You can read, you can do whatever you want, and spin up your own instance. That's the best thing about open source social media. However, the main drawback I've seen about this sort of social media is that you can easily create a honeypot. It's super easy to do it. Just like create an instance, give a funky name, whatever, attract the people, steal their information, whatever. It's a super easy thing to do. And also the identity theft is easy. Of course, Mastodon has done something that you could link your Mastodon account in your personal website. So it was a ref link, like a two-way ref link, and then it was giving you a check mark or something, meaning that your account, or this is not account, the link that you put in your bio is verified. But I don't remember there was a way to verify an account on Mastodon. But nonetheless, it's a good platform, but I prefer Pleroma over Mastodon. And yep, another drawback of it is that it doesn't, like, you don't have that wide reach as you have with Twitter. Like, it's more, the user base is way smaller, and each instance caters to a specific niche or a specific, let's say, whatever. If it's about the politics, the people on the left side, they have their own instance, on the right side they have their own instance. This can be seen as an advantage and disadvantage at the same time. Advantage at the time because people, they don't fight with each other, they don't try to cancel each other. Disadvantage is that they get stuck in their own echo chamber. But yeah, anyway, I think I have talked enough, way over past that, about the social media, and also about using it. I won't return to social media in any foreseeable time. I have just dead accounts there, and I'm not sharing those with nobody because I don't want to be bothered. And yeah, that's all. That concludes this live stream. Again, sorry that I couldn't live stream from OpenBSD. It's supposed to happen, but it didn't happen. Hopefully next time we will have a better live stream, better prepared on the OpenBSD, better quality, better topic prepared, so on and so forth. That's all for now, and see you in the upcoming videos and live stream. Bye.